Hello and welcome back to the channel. So this is the last sequence in the Dark Knight Returns pose out. So welcome to the channel. And I've got the Joker there along with Batman and Carrie Kelly. I'll just try to create an interesting angle of the two of them coming at the Joker. So I'll come in close on Carrie Kelly, aka Robin, and Batman. And I've got Batman with one of the McFarlane's weapons from the accessory pack, and I've also posed Carrie Kelly with a weapon from the accessory pack, and that's not bad. And what I'm trying to go for is that iconic poster look, which is the two of them flying through the air going into battle. Not too bad. Now I've seen the actual figure for that effect, where you get the poster effect, where it's all in black and stuff like that. I don't think I've seen one for Carrie Kelly, but I just thought, you know, I've got the figure, I can get in the ballpark and create that dynamic, and I'm not too displeased with it. It's okay. So I'm going to come around and see if we can get the angle from which you see the Joker staring up at them. And that's not too bad, that look. I stuck the horse back in there for effect, but it's just a prop. But let's get close in on the Joker. And I've recently posed him out this way because I usually put different weapons in his hands. And that's the pistol that kind of resembles the one in the comic, in which Batman come to their final encounter together and fight to the death. And I do like that pose. Now the fans were never keen on this figure, I don't know why. It's very similar to the comic book look, but I like him because you can pose him out. And with this wave, I told you before that it was £25 a figure and you got a bit of the horse with it, but I wait until they drop down in price. So if you work it out, to collect the wave, to get the horse, it would have cost £100, but when I waited for it to drop down in price, it was more like 45 or 50. So I'm very happy with that. But what I'm going to do, I'll come back to Joker, is I'm going to put these weapons in his hands and see what that looks like. So I'm going to pause the film and move it on from there. So that's the next weapon. I think that's an eagle with a silencer on it, and I do have another one of those weapons, and I've got it with my Peacemaker figure. I suppose it's a personal choice as to what you like, but any weapon like Batman that you put in Joker's hand looks pretty fine. And if I swing it around, I've kept these two the same. Just come round and get them again. And that's not bad. So I'll bring in the next weapon for Joker. So there's the next one. That's a Kalashnikov. Not bad. As I said, any weapon you put in his hand does have the desired effect. I do love that face sculpt. Murderous, crazy intent. Okay, let's bring on the next one. Yeah, I like this one. I've put this weapon actually with my Lobo figure. Yeah, I do like that. That looks better for me. Yeah, okay then, let's move on to the next one. And this is the Kalashnikov. This weapon I've put with Bane on occasion. Yeah, I like this one actually more than the last one. But I think the one you're going to see last with him holding a weapon is going to be my favourite, and I'll tell you why. So stay tuned. So this is the one I thought would be my favourite, and I still think that way. This is a Tommy gun, and the reason for that is because if you look at his suit, it's not what you call a modern day suit. It looks like a kind of thing from the 30s or the 20s or something like that, with the big shoulders and big pants. So I thought in that era, when gangsters were at their height, they had Tommy guns. So I'd quite like that effect. But what I've also changed out, so we'll come up to here, is Carrie Kelly. And I've got a hold in Batman's lasso batarang, as I would call it. And I used to pose him with this weapon all the time. But once I had the McFarlane's accessory pack, I just put handguns and machine guns in his hand. So I'm going to come round, see if we can get a good angle for you guys. Not bad. Let's bring it round. Yeah, that looks better actually. I'll come in close. Yeah, I'm just trying to get Carrie Kelly close up because I do like this figure. Lots of people said they didn't like the glasses on it, but I thought that was a nice twist. And the look for me is quite iconic in its own way. And these obviously are based on the images created in the comic by Frank Miller. Let's come out to a wide shot and you'll get what's going on. So that's not a bad dynamic. So I've often said, you know, rather than just have your figures in the display not doing very much, you can create these little effects. That's a nice angle. And if you look at the space down at the base of the stand, there's not a lot of room you're taking up there in your display. So you can actually get this done without taking away from the rest of the collection. Yeah, so on that note, I'm going to pull out to there and say thanks for watching the channel, and I'll see you again soon.